Hello friends, welcome to another speed build. No, I did not mean for there to be a second speed build in this week, let alone in a row. This time we're in Welcome to Bloxburg. I've been wanting to get another Bloxburg video out, but this one took me a really long time. A really long time. You have to work as you're playing the game to get money. I stopped a lot. You can't tell from the changing money amounts on the screen, but I had to stop quite a bit to get money, replenish my money, and then come back and build a little bit more, and then replenish my money again. The other thing was that I didn't record any of the, changing of the photos, the baking process to put the baked goods into the bakery, because this is a bakery, by the way, because those are all live mode, if you will, things, not build mode things. I don't know, though. If people want to see that kind of stuff in these speed builds, let me know. I won't be adding them just yet because my skills are still pretty low, and the amount of time it takes to bake this stuff, for instance, with this bakery, and work on getting my skill up. You can't even, the amount of money that I had to waste on baking stuff and cooking stuff to get my skill up, but just to get things like cookies and muffins and cakes and whatnot, was obnoxiously annoying. I did not realize that it was going to take me that long to get my baking skill up to fill up the bakery with the baked goods. That made me kind of hate this build a little bit, to be honest with you. The other thing I ended up not loving was the layout I went with it. Initially, the dining room seemed like an okay size based on the lot size in the beginning, but a little ways in, I built this weird, sectioned off space right in front of the bathroom doors. And that's because I just built the dining room way too large. And I didn't know what else to do with all that space. The lots in Bloxburg are really big, and I always have this feeling that I just have to fill them up. And really, I guess you don't have to. But the other thing that messed up the layout was that I randomly slapped an owner's apartment on the back. I should have put more thought into where and how I was putting it. When I started this build, I didn't have any game passes. I didn't have Roblox Premium or anything like that. And the idea was I wanted to keep it that way because I wanted to build for people who were building without all of that extra stuff. And so I racked my brain the whole time I was going through all of this stuff. I was racking my brain trying to figure out how I could put an owner's apartment onto this lot and still have it look good, because it was probably right about this point here where I realized that I was going to need to work again at some point to get more money again. But the bigger issue was, I feel like, and I don't know if this is true, and maybe Roblox players or specifically Welcome to Bloxburg players can correct me on this, but I feel like you get more money at your jobs if your character is in a good mood. And if all their needs are met, I think you get paid better. So I would have to work on all of that so that I could get my full pay for my job. And I had nowhere to do that unless I wanted to buy a second lot and switch back and forth between the two lots, loading them constantly to get my player's needs up or my character's needs up, and then go back and build again. It just seemed like a lot of work. and I didn't think other people would want to do that either. So I thought, what better way to handle and take care of this than to put an owner's apartment or whatever on the back. Here you can see I'm struggling with rotating objects. For a while there, I could not use my mouse to rotate objects like at all. It wouldn't work. So I had to use the R button to rotate, which was really tedious and annoying. At some point later on, though, the mouse rotating worked again. I don't know. My mouse is weird and my hands don't work. So it was just a really hard maneuver to pull off for me. But something clicked eventually and it got better. Anyways, so yeah, where I slapped the owner's suite or the owner's apartment or whatever you want to call it on in the end, I didn't really love. So the layout and the tediousness, is that a word? I think it is. I don't know. My brain is fried at this point. The tediousness of building up my cooking skills so I could fill up this bakery really made me hate this build, like with a passion. I think someday I want to revisit it and redo it and try again, and see how I can improve everything. My daughter did come in and rescue it later, though, by making it a little less boring. We both agreed that it was quite boring by the time I was halfway done with it. It was, oh my goodness, excuse me, I slammed my coffee this morning and now I've got, coffee burps, sorry. But we both agreed, I think it was after I added the dining tables and chairs in, that it was quite boring and it needed some rescuing. So she came in and helped me rescue it. She made it cute and she made it colorful. We did get into a bit of an argument over what should and shouldn't be changed with the build, for which I deeply regret, my love. I deeply regret that argument. I'm so sorry. She's sitting here, she's not actually listening to me record right now, but she is sitting nearby me. She's on her tablet with her headphones on. But yeah, I deeply regret that argument. It was a dumb argument to get into, but I still, as terrible as it ended up being, there are parts of the layout that I still really, really like the way they are, and I didn't want it changed. I just wanted it to be spruced up a little bit, which she did. She came in and she spruced it up a little bit and made it a lot less boring. So for that, I thank her greatly, greatly appreciate that help. Other than that, I think my landscaping skills are the absolute worst. The inside stuff was a matter of just being new to building in Bloxburg, having this massive lot to work with, and I don't know, what do you call it? Spatial awareness or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's off. It just doesn't work in me. So that's why I think I end up with big empty spaces like that a lot of times. So yeah, but I totally lost my train of thought there. I'm so sorry. Earlier this week, I thought, why is the video freeze framing? I don't get that. Okay, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I did, for the most of this video, I did the same thing I did in my last Bloxburg video. I freeze framed because you cannot download these lots. You can't download them and put them into your game. You have to rebuild them yourself. So I freeze frame on a lot of different things, the textures, the colors, and often I'll take the layout and I'll tell you how many blocks wide and long and whatever it is. So that's what I was doing there. I was freeze framing so you could see everything I was doing, so you could copy it if you so choose, or, you know, please make it your own. Like, I would love to see someone else take this build and make it better. Honestly, I would love to see a better builder make this a better build. I think the idea behind it was a good one, and someday I'm gonna revisit it, I think. But the execution of it was really poor. Anyways, towards the end of the video, I still freeze frame, but I stopped putting the numbers on the screen for how wide and stuff rooms were. I freeze framed though so that you could count the blocks. I did a top-down view so you could count the blocks if you want it to be exactly like mine is. But I didn't actually put the numbers on the screen. As Bloxburg viewers and game players and builders, leave a comment down below what you prefer. I've heard people complain about Bloxburg videos that that don't have that kind of information in them, and it makes it really hard to copy other people's builds, even when they call it a tutorial build. And so I wanted to do better. I wanted to, as I learned my building skills, I wanted to be able to have these tutorial builds be actual tutorials, but I also don't want to annoy people either. So tell me what you like better. Do you like having the numbers on the screen, or do you just like it being freeze framed for a few seconds so that you can pause the video and count the blocks and stuff yourself? You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Also, one of these days, I'd like to do some build with ease rather than just speed builds for Bloxburg. I think it's interesting to see the process and the back end of everything with these builds and stuff, so I'd like to do that. And I'd like to do some streams of this, because then I can really show you the amount of time it takes to get money and fulfill your character's needs. Did I already mention that I feel like after playing the game for a little while, I feel like your amount of money that you get at your job might be dependent on what mood your character is. I don't know, maybe a more seasoned Bloxburg player can correct me on that, but I kind of feel like if your character is starving or stinky, or both, they don't get paid as much at their job as they do when they're in a really, really good mood. Not to mention your character physically moves slower, so it takes you longer to do everything, which also affects the amount of money you get as well. That one I know for sure. Like, that's a tried, tested, true statement. But the mood one, I don't know for sure. So let me know, Bloxburg builders and players, if it's true that you get less money for having a not happy character. But yeah, this part, I think I said earlier in the video, I added it in last minute because I knew my character was going to need her needs built up, and I knew that if other people copied this build, their characters would need their needs boosted up as they were selling in the bakery and stuff. So I slapped an owner's apartment on the back. I don't like where I put it. The layout is fine of the apartment itself. I just don't like how and where I attached it to the back of the bakery. I think it looks funny there. So again, for the third or fourth time, I might revisit this build in the future and plan the layout a little bit better. But here shortly, like you can see, it's all white and wood and boring and brown brick, brown wood, white, basically everything else. Very extremely neutral and boring, except for the bathroom doors. The bathroom doors were just placeholders. I was gonna change them later. And then my daughter came in and rescued the build and made it fun and colorful. And so the bathroom doors matched, and so I left them like that. I feel like I'm providing a service. Did I say that? I feel like I'm providing a service to Bloxburgians by providing 2 bathrooms for their poor little characters' needs. The amount of people that walk around in this game with their heads like bowed down and stink clouds around them and flies everywhere is amazing. Let me tell you, it's quite amazing. It's a sight to see sometimes. In fact, I think I mentioned it already, and I think I mentioned how you can kind of see my character with the stink cloud and stuff around her in this video every now and then. It's funny. It's funny, but it's annoying to play that way. So, yeah, I think I'm providing a good service there. The public bathrooms are open to all. Feel free. You don't have to buy anything from my bakery to use them. It doesn't cost me anything for you to use the bathroom, so go on ahead and use it. Yeah, that's just a little funny look into the Welcome to Bloxburg game. The other thing I could do with these speed builds is just make a list, like what textures I used for everything at the end of the game. And then, well, no, I think that would be harder for builders. Never mind. I think the freeze framing during building is the easiest for builders. Here, this is the part where my daughter comes in to help me. She started moving the furniture around, but like that main counter setup area, that was the one thing that I had in mind that I wanted to be exactly like that. And I didn't want anything changed with that part because the whole rest of the build was kind of just built around this counter space here. But anyways, the reason it looks like this, I don't know why the video is being laggy like that. That's so weird. But the reason it's such a still image and you're just seeing things move around is because for most of it, it's me watching her build and decorate. She's on her computer in build mode on my lot. Anybody who knows anything about Bloxburg knows that multiple people can be in build mode together, working on a lot together. So she's in build mode. She was at that other part where it was being really laggy for some reason. She was in build mode on her computer and I was watching her from my computer. That's why it was one singular shot and things were just moving around on the screen without the screen also moving. This part here is still my daughter building, but she came over to my computer to then build from there, from my computer to make it easier. And this, yeah, to be honest with you, I'm really sorry, but I'm not sure I'll ever get better at landscaping. I get better and better at layouts, and I get better and better at decorating all the time. But landscaping is my one downfall that I just never seem to be able to get any better at. No matter how hard I try, it's just really bad. It's just really bad. But we're almost to the end of the speed build. I will be quiet so you can listen to the background music and watch the walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed this video. forgot to mention, I made the little colorful bakery graphics for the front of the building and stuff. I hope you enjoyed. Leave me a like. Bye!